Hey guys, what's up? Darcy here at 6 Strings 9 Lives, back for another ranking video. Today I'm going to take a look at all 11 studio albums from Ozzy Osbourne. So just his solo albums. You could say there is 12 if you included the covers album. I don't even own that album, so I'm not going to include it. I usually don't in ranking videos anyways. I just go with the studio material. And there happens to be 11 albums here, you know, spanning from the debut in 1980 all the way fast forward 40 years to last year's release. We'll take a look at all of that. But before we get started, I just wanted to, well, you know what? We're creeping up on October here, 2021. And, you know, I'm listening to some Todd La Torre in the background, kind of one of my favorite albums of the year so far. There's still some albums yet to come. But quick plug for this album. I was spinning it today and I was like, man, this is, people need to know about this for sure. So this is Todd La Torre's Rejoice in the Suffering. You know him as the current lead singer of Queensryche, but this is not Queensryche. This is pure metal, absolute scorcher. Not a weak track on it, and I mean that. So go check it out. Just thought I would give that one more plug. I hadn't listened to it for probably about a month, but every time I put it on, it's so good. So let's get into the ranking video. Might as well get straight into it. There is, like I said, there's 11 albums here. You know, Ozzy's been busy reuniting with Black Sabbath, things like that. So yes, there is only 11 albums. You know, the guy's had some health issues, many health issues during his years. And, you know, you got to wonder sometimes, how is this guy still standing? But he is still making new music, so I won't fault him for that, even though I will show you number 11, last year's Ordinary album. I mean, Ordinary Man. Just joking. But, yeah, just not my favorite for sure. I guess this is as close to, for me personally, as a terrible album that Ozzy has put out, but here's the cover, kind of gothic looking cover. Not a bad cover at all, kind of cool. Ordinary Man. And, you know, the first couple of tracks were actually really decent. What was the first video? Under the Graveyard, I think, was, you know, it's a really good song. Ordinary Man featuring Elton John. You know what? I didn't hate that one. Straight to Hell, not bad. But this stuff with Post Malone, absolute garbage. I wish I could just get a version that didn't have that on there. You know what? No Zakk Wylde on here. But my favorite, if I had to pick one favorite track on this album, it would be Scary Little Green Man. Coming in at number 11 from, so 11th overall studio album from Ozzy from 2020, Ordinary Man. Coming in at number 10, his 9th overall studio album. I got to see him on this tour with, so I might as well show you the album first. This is 2007's Black Rain, coming in at number 10 for me. Like I said, I got to see Ozzy perform, well, got to see Ozzy with Rob Zombie opened. And you know what? It was not a bad concert. I wasn't the best concert I've ever seen, but if that is the only time I got to see Ozzy live, I'm fine with it. You know, Zakk was in the band still. Mike Borden was on drums. Blasko was on bass. Anyways, Black Rain. So he did 2 albums with this producer, Kevin Churko, and pretty much Kevin's stamp is all over these albums. You know, very similar, this one and the next one I'm going to show you. Only the next one has a different guitar player. So this was the last to feature Zakk Wylde on guitars, and is yet to return to this day. I wish he would, but oh well. Black Rain does have some good tracks. You know, besides Ordinary Man, which I just don't like that album. I don't hate any of these albums. The next few I'll show you are just okay albums, but you get near the top. I absolutely love probably my top 4 or 5. But anyways, Not Going Away, great track. I Don't Want to Stop. What else? What else was that song? Oh, Countdown Begins. I really enjoy that one too. Second last track. Black Rain coming in at number 10, 9th overall studio album. And coming in at 9, the 10th overall studio album. So Black Rain and this one, Scream, easily could have been, they're a bit interchangeable, to be honest with you. Very, but you know what? I like this one just a little bit better. Gus G is the guitar player on this album, and I actually don't mind that, but there's the cover for this one, so no Ozzy logo. As a theme with most Ozzy Osbourne, well, all of his studio albums for sure, and actually most of his releases ever, Ozzy is always featured on the cover in some shape or form, as you'll see with these future albums. But Scream, this one is from 2010. So big gap between Scream and Ordinary Man. But it looks like, by the sounds of things, we're probably going to have an album a little bit quicker, maybe even 2022. I think Ozzy is still working with the same group of people, that Andrew Watt or whoever he's working with. So who knows? And I didn't mention, I really don't think Ordinary Man is, I don't think me, I'm 52 years old. Am I the target audience still for Ozzy Osbourne? It feels like he's expanding, moving, including this Post Melon guy or Malone or whatever the hell. Anyways, Scream coming in at number 9. Check out the tracks. Let It Die, really good. Let Me Hear You Scream, not bad. Soul Sucker, which I think this album was actually originally intended to be called Soul Sucka, but they changed it to Scream. Fearless, really like that song. And Latimer's Mercy, probably my top 4 favorite tracks. So coming in at number 9 is Scream from 2010. This one, number 8, coming in at number 8, the 7th overall studio album from 1995 is Osmosis. Now this has some really good opening tracks. Perry Mason is awesome song. I Just Want You. Ghost Behind My Eyes, kind of a ballad song. Thunder Underground, I really enjoy that. The big hit, See You on the Other Side. But overall, this is really it's kind of a ballad heavy. It's not ballad heavy, and not a really heavy album throughout. We got Geezer Butler on this one. Sorry, the black cover, bit of a glare. So yeah, so coming in at number 8, what else? We had See You on the Other Side. I remember was co-written by Lemmy, but coming in at number 8 is Osmosis. Coming in at number 7, this one actually, you know what, when I was kind of doing my homework, because there's a few of these, there's a good handful of these that they're etched in my brain. I can actually literally play them in my head if you know those albums. But there's a couple where I really, when I put on just to, reacquaint myself with those albums, that I thought, okay, this is better than I remember, put it that way. So we had to wait 6 years for this album. This one came out, because 1995's Osmosis, and then 6 years pass until we get this album, Down to Earth. So coming in at number 7, his 8th overall studio album, Down to Earth. So like I said before, you got Ozzy in some shape or form on the cover. To me, this is an underrated album. Zakk Wylde doesn't have any writing contributions on this album, but his guitar work is phenomenal. There's some really great solos in here. Check out the tracks. Gets Me Through, Facing Hell, awesome song. Dreamer, you would know that ballad song. No Easy Way Out is a really good track too. That I Never Had is one of my favorites on here. And where was Junkie? Black Illusion, another cool track to check out. So coming in number 7 is Down to Earth from 2001. And that brings us to the top 6. And coming in next, I've seen this one a little higher in some people's rankings, but it's a good album. I can't fault it for, first one to feature Zakk Wylde. This is my original CD. No Rest for the Wicked. So on this one we have Zakk Wylde, Bob Daisley, Randy Castillo on drums. You remember all these tracks: Miracle Man, Devil's Daughter. One of my favorite tracks on here is Fire in the Sky. That absolutely might even be my favorite track on here. Bloodbath in Paradise, little Charlie Manson song there. But yeah, Zakk Wylde, I think he was what, maybe 20, 21 years old when he joined the band. Just a, you know, big kid, long blonde hair, you know, 1988. So coming in at number, what did we say? Number 6 from 1988. No Rest for the Wicked. This next one, I've seen this one number 1 lots of times. And you know what? Maybe this was your entry point, or you know, more, I guess you could say this is one of the most successful albums, more, you know, commercial in a way, some bigger hits on it. But I actually just got this one on vinyl a couple, I don't know, 10 days ago or so. So coming in at number 5 is No More Tears from 1991. And I will show a little more in depth this album on my next update, but here's the back cover. So this one has, who do we have? Randy Castillo on drums, Ozzy, Zakk, and actually Bob Daisley. And speaking of Bob Daisley, he, from here on in, actually from No Rest for the Wicked, the one I just showed you, and all the way up to my number 1, he is one of the common denominators in this, an unsung hero of this band. His songwriting is excellent. He's a great bass player. You know, we always talk about these great guitar players like Randy Rhoads, Jake E. Lee, Zakk Wylde, you know, but we need to talk about Bob Daisley because he is a phenomenal, you know, phenomenal bass player and songwriter, like I said, and a big part of a lot of these albums. But so anyways, but we have pictured in here is Michael Inez, who went on to join Alice in Chains, I think, for their 3rd album, and took over for Mike Starr, who used to be the bass player. But yeah, great album. You know these tracks, a lot of stuff written in collaboration with Lemmy on here. But Mr. Tinker Train, great song. Desires, one of my favorite songs. Ozzy Osbourne's version of Hellraiser, really good, but I like the Motorhead version just as much, which was recorded in 1992 on, let's see if we got it. Yeah, March or Die. Probably one of the only good songs on this album. Hate to say it, but anyways, check out Motorhead's version of Hellraiser on March or Die. But yeah, co-written by Lemmy. Road to Nowhere, good song. No More Tears, you know, big hit. But coming in at number 5, No More Tears. Let's set that one aside. Coming in at number, where are we here? Coming in at number 4. This one I see gets slagged on a little bit here and there, and it's mostly, oh, the production's not that good, this and that. And but I absolutely love this album. I always have. Probably my favorite Ozzy Osbourne cover. But coming in at number 4 from 1986 is The Ultimate Sin. This is my original copy, and I am just waiting for this to be, this needs a remaster and reissued on vinyl. I don't, it is a little, I don't know what the right word would be, Ozzy's voice sounds a little hollow sounding a bit, but it really fits, to be honest with you. This is the 2nd album to feature Jake E. Lee on guitar. The soloing on here is absolutely brilliant. I love it. I've always liked this album. Bob Daisley co-writes a lot of these tracks on here, but he is not featured on here. The bass player for this one is Phil Suisan, if I'm pronouncing that right, who co-wrote the big hit Shot in the Dark. Randy Castillo on drums, Zakk Wylde, Jake E. Lee's 2nd album with Ozzy. But yeah, I've always loved this album. The Ultimate Sin, great song. Never Know Why is one of my favorites. Lightning Strikes, Fool Like You, Shot in the Dark. Definitely go back and check this out. Put it on and, you know, see if it's as you remembered it was. Maybe it is one of your favorites. Maybe it's lower down on the list. But for me, number 4, The Ultimate Sin from 1986. All right, coming in at number 3 is Ozzy's solo effort from 1980. Actually, it got released originally in we didn't see this in North America until 1981. That's why all these years I thought, oh, Ozzy had 2 albums in 1981. when he really didn't. This one was released in 1980 in the UK, but coming in at number 3 for me is Blizzard of Oz. Absolute classic. Love this album. There's really not much for weakness on this one. It's a little less polished than the second album, which we'll talk about in a minute. But you all know this album, I'm sure. I don't know. Love that song. Crazy Train, as much as it's overplayed, I don't know. I'm not sick of it, but I definitely, I could skip it, that's for sure. Suicide Solution, the guitar riff on that is one of my all-time favorites from Randy Rhoads. And if I had to pick a favorite Ozzy Osbourne guitar player, it would be Randy Rhoads, and then Jake Healy, and then Zakk Wylde, and then whoever else. But yeah, other great tracks: Revelation, Mother Earth, No Bone Movies. No Bone Movies is more of a kind of a looser, raw track type of, I don't know, less serious, let's say. But yeah, great album. Coming in at number 3, Blizzard of Oz from 1980. Coming in at number 2, and really, truthfully, there's a little bit of, well, this was my introduction to Ozzy Osbourne, and I've always loved this album. First one to feature Jake E. Lee. Coming in at number 2, Bark at the Moon from 1983. Just a solid album, top to bottom. There's really, to me, there's no weak tracks on here. If I had to pick one of my least favorite tracks, would be So Tired. But tracks like Bark at the Moon, You're No Different. My favorite track on here is Now You See It, Now You Don't. Absolutely great track. Center of Eternity, Waiting for Darkness to wrap this one up. Max Norman produced, which Max Norman also worked with Ozzy here on my number 1 album. So yeah, great production. Jake E. Lee, we have Tommy Aldridge and on drums, and Bob Daisley on bass. So coming in at number 2, Bark at the Moon from 1983. And to wrap this up, you know there's one left, and always been my favorite Ozzy Osbourne album, Diary of a Madman, released in 1981. Yeah, just a great album. Over the Mountain, Flying High Again, 2 of the best leading opening tracks on an album, and ending with one of the best tracks ever, Diary of a Madman. You Can't Kill Rock and Roll, Believer, another highlight of this album. Little Dolls, SATO, yeah, produced by Max Norman, Ozzy Osbourne, and Bob Daisley, and Randy Rhoads, sorry. But anyways, that's my number 1. Let me know where you rank these. What's your top 3, 4? Rank them all if you'd like. But yeah, I've been wanting to do this one for a while. It's been requested on the channel. I will, I'll keep on these ranking videos. See what you think. I do them for fun. I don't, I don't lose sleep if you don't agree with me, and I'm sure you don't lose sleep if you don't agree with me. So, but yeah, like I said, just for fun. Love chatting with you guys in the comments section. But hope you enjoyed that one, and until next time, stay heavy.